we shall begin our today's session. In our earlier session, we had discussed uh, all the elements that are concerned with outsourcing. And in our today's session, we shall see the integrated model of customer life cycle, demand chain management and supply chain management. Now let us try to understand this in three different parts. The first one is customer life cycle and role of supply chain. The second part is demand chain management and integrating market and supply chain management, how it happens. And in the part 3, we shall see yes. Now we shall begin with the part 1, that is customer life cycle and role of supply chain management. Now we have clearly understood what is supply chain management and how does it plays an important role in our business organization. Now, in the entire sessions that we discussed, one particular thing that we understood is that supply chain management is always customer centric and it does always focus on adding value to customer. So this customer centric supply chains, they are integrated with customer life phases, demand management. So that is something we shall try to understand with this particular topic. So now here the first question is, what is the customer life cycle? So if you know what is customer life cycle, what does the role of supply chain has to do in customer life cycle management? So this we can understand with an instance. Now imagine you are going to college and on the first day of your academic year, you shall be informed that you will be learning all the subjects through lectures, maybe through video lessons and Google Classroom, and that there shall be quite a few subjects which will be taught using spreadsheets and other application. So when you hear this particular situation, you identify that you need a smartphone or a laptop, or yes, both you might need. This is what you will understand. So on reaching home, you shall be telling your parents that you need a computer or smartphone. Now they agree and they give you budget of maybe 50 to 60,000 for these requirements. So when this happens, so now what will you do? So once you have the budget, you will search for information and you will try to have more knowledge about the different smartphones and laptops that are there. So once after you know all the information, you will evaluate all the options that you have, and once you are done with evaluation, you will decide which one to buy, and you will also gain awareness about various brands, the configurations that are there, and also the related prices. Now not only that, as a customer we also evaluate the product based on the delivery time, after sales service and also payment terms. So once after we evaluate all this, we'll select a particular product and a brand and buy it, use it, and yes, if it is accordingly, we'll feel satisfied. So after you are done with studies, you'll get a job and you'll feel that new need for the new version of the computer. So if you are highly satisfied with the product that you used, you'll evaluate other products and service in relation to the one that you are using, and you decide to buy the same brand for the same retailer. So this is what we have to understand, that this makes customer life cycle. That when you give a product or when you render a service, give it in such a way that people come back to your organization. And this is what something which is worth for the business organization, and that is what makes customer life cycle. So we discussed this particular instant wherein we took an example of a student and what happens when he probably goes to a job. So now there were different phases that the student has gone through. Now if the phases have to be named, first one, there was the identification of needs which might have fulfilled by a product or a service that is available. That is the first phase that happens. You discover something, that there is a need to buy a product or to experience a service. That is what has been mentioned as discover in your slide. Once after that, you shall develop awareness about the products and the brands that exist. Thereby you try to satisfy your needs. That is called as explore. Once after that, you learn more about the product, brand, services and retailers, those who fulfill the needs. So that can be one more in between. Then you have comparison, or that is to tell you consider how the product and the services offered by various manufacturers and retailers do, or how they may possibly not satisfy the identified needs that you have to fulfill. So once after that, you have evaluation phase. You evaluate the stability of the products and the services probably that you are taking as against to that of other products or services. So once after you are happy with your evaluation, you decide to purchase the product or the service from the concern. So once you decided to purchase, you buy and you take delivery of the product or service. Once after that, you use the product and services. If you have taken product, you shall use the product. If it is service, you shall be having an experience as to how the particular service helped you, whether it satisfied what your need was or did it not. Then you use the product, yes, that is using the product and service. The next stage is retention. That is, you decide to buy the same brand or from the same company, or might be from the same retailer for your future needs. That is retention. Not only that, along with that you have referrals. That because you had got a service or you were able to buy a product which was up to your expectation. When you find that somebody else needs the same service, you're going to refer or you're going to share the experience what you had. That is one reference. And all this, when it happens again and again, it makes up the customer life cycle. First there is a discovery of the need, then you explore, you compare, you evaluate, you purchase, you retain, and you refer. Now when we tell this customer life cycle, now customer life cycle, it describes the steps that a customer goes through, especially when the customer identifies a need or a considering or purchasing or using, and by maintaining loyalty to a product that he has purchased or for a service that he has bought. So the phases in customer life cycle is need identification, there is awareness, there is learning, there is consideration, there is evaluation, there is acquisition, there is use of the product, there is the customer who is being loyal, and the customer buys again and again. So, now understanding what customer life cycle is, now the next question arises. So what is that the organizations and marketers and retailers have to do so that they are able to hold a customer across the whole customer life cycle? That they retain them and they'll have them again and again in the process of those customers buying products or services from your organization. Now, to be very simple, a business first will have to gain the attention of all its potential customer. Once they know who are their potential customer, the organization will have to influence the customer by providing information about the products and services. Not only they should provide the information, once they give the information, the business organization will have to induce all their customers to buy the products. And that is when a customer buys the product, they are converted from potential customers into paying customers. Once they become paying customers, then they'll have to retain the customer with enhanced product and services. So once they are retained, it is expected that the company will be able to gain the customer loyalty and turn them into a company advocate, or when they refer the company, that is when a customer becomes company advocate or one who speaks for the company. See, the important fact that we have to know here is that organizations, they move across the customer life cycle by developing what we call as trust in the minds of the customer. Now this trust in the customer's mind, it can be gained with mainly three of the business purpose, that is intrude and engage, acquire, and third one being retain and expand. Now when we speak about intrude and engage, now here it includes all the efforts of the business organization to get a prospect's attention. Once the organization has their attention, they'll have to create awareness, and thereby they'll have to engage in a dialogue to move the customer into the customer life cycle. That is all about intrude and engage. Once after that, we have acquire. Acquire is nothing but here the business organization will have to educate the prospective customer. They'll have to try to maintain their attention. They'll have to create interest and motivate them to make the buying decision of the product. That is acquire. Then you have retain and expand. So this is nothing but the design cross-functional business strategies so that it is able to increase customer satisfaction and also foster customer loyalty. So these are the three processes how the trust of the customer is maintained. Now, in a very properly defined customer life cycle, the marketers and retailers, they are able to map processes clearly so that they are able to hold the customers across the entire customer life cycle. So now here arises the question, so what is the role of supply chain? Isn't it important? That is what we are trying to understand. It is not customer life cycle, but it is supply chain that we are understanding. So what is the role of supply chain? So that it helps marketers, so that they can map the process which can serve the customers throughout the customer life cycle. So what do you think? What might be the activities that supply chain does for a business organization in having its customer life cycle again and again? So there are quite a few things. First one is supply chain partners. Who are supply chain partners? There are 5 main that we have already discussed, from the supplier until the end customer. So those we call as supply chain partners. Now these supply chain partners, they can provide information about changing trends in the needs, demands and the delivery process. That is the first thing how supply chain helps. That the partners provide information. The second one is that when supply functions, they create new and different ways to understand the market and also to translate the marketing initiatives into supply chain drive. That is when people exchange information, that is when they'll know what are the different needs of the customer. And when they understand this, maybe there are chances that it is able to create new ways to understand and translate market initiatives into supply chain drivers. And the third one to mention, the supply chain process and the function of supply chain. Now it helps the organization to provide the values which is expected by the customers. So what value customers have? Now normally a customer will have 3 different values. That is economic value, market value and relevancy value. Now these values, they help in they can be used to enhance the supply chain. So their first one that we mentioned is economic value. Now this economic value, it refers to the product which is of high quality comparatively at a lower price. Or in other words, the quality of product should be higher compared to what price they are going to pay. That gives a economic value for the product. And this shall be achieved by the customers through economies of scales and also by bringing efficiency in product and service creation and by the way how it is delivered to the market. So that speaks about the economic value of customer life cycle. Then we have market value. So this market value, it is created by convenient product variety or by assortment delivered at a convenient time and place. So that is how market value is created. Now once again, this particular market value, it is achieved by the business organization by what we call as economy of scope in product presentation and in product availability. Now when it comes to business organizations, they follow multiple channels of distribution. They do mass merchandising, especially through retail chains or shopping malls and e-commerce for multi-vendor support. Then we have a relevancy value. So what is this relevancy value? Now relevancy is something which is achieved through customization of products to suit individual customer needs. Now organization, they achieve this by adding new product features or function to the base product so that they are able to suit the requirement of the customer. So that is how relevancy is created. Now we can give an example. Now if at all a student needs more internet features, then they can call features from a telecom service provider. The service provider gives a different package for the student. So that is one of the example. Or maybe maybe when you buy a car, you need different features like different paint color, or you might be wanting that it runs on a auto gear, or the type of the seat that you want, whether you would be ready to buy a diesel engine car or a petrol engine car, etc. Now depending upon the brand, you can change, or what we call as customization, and that brings the relevance. So this is all about customer life cycle and how supply chain is integrated. Now if at all you want to know more about it, if you have to understand, you can always try to plot the value that is created by supply chain across the customer life cycle phases. So if you are able to do that, maybe you will understand it better. That is to tell uh, how has supply chain created value uh, across the customer life cycle phase. So if you are able to answer that, you will be able to know customer life cycle and supply chain in a better way. Then the part 2 that we have is demand chain management and integrated marketing and supply chain management. Now what is this demand chain management? You have supply chain management, so you understood what is customer life cycle. Now this is yet again one more, that is demand chain management. Now this demand chain management, it aims to create value for the customers. So how do you think it tries to create value for the customer? Now it tries to create value by combining the strengths of marketing and supply chain competences that is available for a business organization, and thereby creates value for customer. That is to tell, the demand management process, it will always try to meet the customer's requirement, and it does so by matching the capacity of the firm and also by using key customer data, so that there is efficient flow of goods or services throughout the supply chain. Or in simple words, if you have to tell, the organization, it links the customer and supply chain operation so as to provide differentiating products, service and delivery process for different segmentation of customers. So that is demand chain management. It is a demand chain, it creates value for the customer by strengthening the market and supply chain competency. That is called as demand chain management. Now with demand chain management, it integrates all the activities across the demand chain. It starts from the delivery and service to the end customer, and also to the coordination of raw material suppliers. Now, if you have to speak about demand chain management, it involves 4 different phases. The first one is demand and supply chain process integration is there, wherein you bring together the demand that you have and the supply chain process. Then the second phase is that we have digital integration. And the third one, we have configuring the value system. And finally, we have cross-functional working relationship. So how does this happens? That is, there is an integration of demand and supply process. That is the first thing that we were trying to see. So now how it happens has been picked up from one of the supply chain management writer called as Rainbird. Now his particular work was published in the year 2004. Now this person suggests a process fusion model for demand and supply process integration, and this particular model helps to understand the interrelationship between demand and supply process that happens across the customer life cycle. So that is what has been present here. Now there are 3 layers of it, okay, or the 3 layers that the model suggests into. The first one is there is the integration of the customer or bringing of the customer into the value creation process. That is the first layer. The second layer is that there is conceptualization of dynamics in the customer relationship. And the third and the final one, there is a linkage in the activities in the demand process with those in the supply process. So these are the 3 ways how the demand chain is integrated with supply chain management. Now we can see it in, you know, five different steps to make it further easy. In the first step, what happens is, the whom we call as marketing managers. The marketing managers, they shall have the work on, marketing the supply networks, thereby gain information for market analysis. Now this will help the organization to understand the new products and also to understand the new services in the market. And once they know, they'll also understand the expectation of the customer. Now, not only understanding the expectation of the customer is important, expectation of the customer, especially in terms of product, service, and delivery, is important. So the marketing managers will know all this when monitor the supply network. So the supply network, it provides inputs on things like consumer behavior, on retail preference, and also on technological preferences. And all these inputs, it helps the demand chain managers in segmenting and also targeting the right customer segments. So once they know all the information, the next one is, yes, the next one is the evaluation stage. Now in the evaluation stage, the consumer, they compare various product and service across the features and functions of the product or brand. So that is evaluation stage. For example, if the product, it is a car, they compare brands of cars based on mileage, the grip, the type of the engine, the power space and service. By capturing data and the evaluation phase from the customers, it shall help the marketers, to carry out the demand and supply chain process of forecasting the demand, the segmenting the markets based on the need, preference and profitability that is there, designing supply networks and also proposing delivery and service packages. And if we speak about the next phase, in the third phase, the customer life, phase of this customer life cycle, the decision is taken regarding the purchase. So the decision to purchase by the customer is supported by the demand process, and it is added on by the value proportion of the product, and also the, if it is service features, especially to a specific customer, and this is done by carrying out the supply process of receiving orders and of order fulfillment. Then there is the purchase of the product or service. It is integrated with the demand process of transactional processing, delivery and supply chain. Then the last phase is customer buying. So it is nothing but it is the consumption of the product. Now the information flow regarding consumption helps the marketers to design demand management, process to improve customer service, sell more of the same product to the customer, now sell retailed products to the same customer. So when more and more products or more of the same product is sold to the same customer, it is called as upselling. And when you sell the related product to the same customer, it is called as cross selling. Now this shall come under marketing, but I just mentioned here. Now when you sell same product to the same customer again and again, it is called as upselling. When you sell related product to the same customer, it is called as cross selling. So the information and interaction with the customer at this stage also helps to revise the supply chain process of physical distribution and service package offerings. So all these things that we discussed now under demand chain management, it has been well presented, especially in the infusion model that we spoke about of the rainbird. So that is what has been represented here. You have evaluation, you have demand process, you have supply process, and you have customer buying cycle there. There is awareness of the product, there is consumption of the product, there is purchase of the product, and the decision happening. Now, when it is awareness, you have market or customer analysis, macro market segmentation, target market definition or approval, and you have okay. And when it is demand process, it goes on with serving the value, cross and upselling offering when it comes to consuming. When you have transaction and delivery service for the purchase, you have value proposition for the decision. When you speak about supply process, you have monitoring the supply network for the awareness. You have physical distribution service, revised service package proposition for consuming, and you have physical distribution service for purchase, and you have order replacement and excuse me, order fulfillment for decision. So that is all about demand chain management and integrating market and supply chain management. And final part of the second chapter, that is, we have digital integration value system and how this cross functional relationship works. That is to tell, we spoke about demand chain management. Now this demand chain management, it aims to create value for the customers, as we said, by combining the strengths of marketing and supply chain competences. So what is this managing the digital integration? So, or why is it important? Now to answer this question, managing the information flow across the demand management process and also the supply process in today's business is an important decision that has to be made for a business process, so that all such business process they are able to provide necessary information for the customers in their buying decision. And for a business organization to meet these requirements, now the organization they try to implement system which enables seamless information flow and a knowledge enabled process across the supply and demand chains. And when business does all these things, they ensure that the information flow shall be well integrated with one another. Now, with the advent of information technology, organizations will employ what we call as digital integration. See, we spoke about customer life cycle, right? We said there is awareness, there is consideration, there is purchase, there is retention, there is advocacy. We spoke of all this. And this slide, what you can see is you can observe how there is digital integration in each of these phase of customer life cycle. How digital technology is making a way through all this is what has been put up in your slide. And it is awareness, you have PR, you have radio, word of mouth, and it goes on and on, where you can see how there is influence of digital technology. So this digital integration, it means linking the process through information technology, and it includes both information system and also it includes technology. Now when we speak about in supply and demand process, this digital integration, it links the customer relationship, activities, logistic function, and strategic decisions into one integral process. Okay, and this is something which is done by integrating the transactional system, management information system, or decision support system, and also strategic system, and thereby all the system will be integrating the various models of enterprise resource planning or ERP. Now this particular thing I had given you all work, try understanding what ERP is. So that is where it becomes important for you to know why I asked you to study that particular thing. Now, when I said this particular sentence or this meaning, you had to understand what it is or what is enterprise resource planning is all about. So, integrating the transactional system or MIS or management information system or decision support system and strategic system, and thereby integrating the various model of enterprise resource planning or enterprise operations or enterprise planning and monitoring, enterprise integration and administration or customer relationship management and supply chain management and financial and operation reporting. All this work the digital integration does. Now, integration is what? It is simply nothing but bringing together. So, this digital integration is an important function of demand chain and supply chain management, because it is something which enables, timely information flow for carrying out operations and management decisions, and also sales and customer purchase history. When it is integrated with procurement, manufacturing, inventory, and logistics, it can propel, demand forecasting, product improvement, customized offerings, and also customer specific sales promotion, and also it is able to bring out a mode of physical distribution. So this digital integration is very important to many customer connectivity. It is important for smart procurement. It is important for order fulfillment. It is important for service delivery and supplier collaboration also. So in the traditional environment, each functional area, that is operations or finance or HR or marketing, they were viewed separately. Hence, the challenge in digital integration is to identify the information interdependency and integrate the process. So that is how it is different from earlier to now. So what we have, why are we studying all this? Now we studied all this, that is customer life cycle, how is its relation with supply chain, the digital integration or value system, all this for configuring the value system or for managing cross functional relationship. Now the strategic objective that we tell, or the objective of an organization, remember, now it is not just objective, it is strategic objective what has been important for a business organization. Now the strategic objective of any organization is to satisfy their customer. Not only satisfy their customer, but they should be able to satisfy their customer better than their competitors. That is important. So the customers, they are able to prioritize, the quality, the variety, the time of delivery, and also the after sale service, and mainly the minimum cost. So the organizations today, they achieve all these expectations of the customers by adding value to the customer across the value chain activities of, especially the inbound logistics, the operations and outbound logistics, and through marketing and after sales service. So the supporting activities, like administration, financing and accounting and information technology or even human resource are also tuned towards achieving what we call as competitive advantage. Now, in short to tell, as all the organization functions are, pointed towards adding value to the customer, the value system of demand chain and supply chain are also to meet the needs of customer segments, with differentiated and customized product and services. So, how to maintain all this, cross functional relationship? That is to tell, there are various different discipline of knowledge, and all this happens in integration of one another. That is called as cross functional relationship. So the activities of the supply chain and demand chain, it is spread across all the functional activities across the value chain. Now there is new product development. It is linked to the demand chain process. Uh, there are things like market analysis. You have segmentation. You have targeting, forecasting. You have defining the value proposition, and also the supply chain process. There are, suppliers of this. You have network monitoring. You have supplier collaboration, procurement strategy, and you have logistics also when it comes to new product development. So this value chain activity of operations, it is interrelated with the demand chain process of, creation, and thereby delivers the value proposition, and also supply chain process of maybe logistic, inventory management and material and information flow. That is to tell, the value chain activity of marketing and sales, it is interrelated to the demand chain process of, physical distribution, the cross selling, what we said as upselling, and also supply chain process of physical distribution. Now when you tell the value chain activity distribution, it is, interlinked or interlocked with demand chain process of multi channel management. You have logistics and supply chain process of order receiving and fulfillment, and even distribution logistics. So the value chain activity service, those are supported by the demand chain process, like dispatching, customizing services, and offering services, and, even supply chain process of monitoring service networks. So the interdependence of all this, it imposes the challenges of, conflicting the key performance indicators. So what are these key performance indicators? These key performance indicators, they are, a measurement that is used to evaluate the success of an activity. So the success of the supply chain process, it is normally determined by its effectiveness to overcome all these conflicting interests of the marketing and the demand process that is there. And normally a business organization, it is able to achieve this by the supply chain process, especially by obtaining timely information from marketing on trends in the new customers or products, and by customer segments, and by using different promotional plans, and over or under delivery issues, and by providing timely information on the lead time, capacity, and cost of supply chain. So that is how all this works. Now this is integrated model of, sorry, there has been a mistake in your slide. uh, it is integrated model of customer life cycle, demand management, and supply chain management. Now you have here customer buying cycle. You have, that is what we spoke of in today's class. You have awareness, evaluation, decision, purchase, and consume. Now you have how demand process works there and how supply process works there. This is the integrated model of supply chain. Now along with this comes digital integration, configuring value system, and what we spoke about, managing cross functional relationship. All these three things would be coming there. So this is all that we had to discuss under our chapter 2. That is chapter 2 that we have under supply chain management. Now